About to start the live new moon reading in Libra. Thank you guys for joining me and tuning in. And for those of you who will be watching on YouTube later, hello to you all as well. If you want to catch these readings live, you can go to my Instagram at Readings by Rissa and get announcements on when I'm posting them and what page I'm posting them live on. But I also post these on my YouTube channel, so you can rewatch them and get your fill in that way. So I'm so excited to connect with you all. I know that I'm kind of new on this page. This used to be the Spiritual Goddess. It is still Spiritual Goddess, but it's also Indigo Goddess, which is kind of another version of the Spiritual Goddess and has evolved into that page. And I am Readings by Rissa, aka Rissa Vibes, and I am here as a feature intuitive on this page to bring you new moon and full moon readings periodically, as well as IGTV videos daily throughout the week to give you more inspiration and motivation to stay on your spiritual path and to stay enlightened in it. So I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be live with you guys on Indigo Goddess's page. Super excited. We have a lot of things planned as well, me and Indigo Goddess. We're gonna probably be doing some live recaps after new moon and full moon readings eventually, where we'll be talking together live with you guys and a bunch of other things. So lots of things to look forward to on this page. I'm so excited to connect with you all. I'm gonna give you guys a couple more minutes to get settled and comfy before I start, and then we will get into it. For those of you who don't know me and aren't familiar with my videos or my readings, I don't use any of the cards in the beginning. I am an intuitive, I'm a psychic channel. I've been this way since I was very young and reawakened to my abilities in adulthood after dealing with a lot of anxiety and learned how to navigate my anxiety with my spirituality on my spiritual path and growth in that, and then also evolved all of my intuitive gifts as well along the way, and now can be used to help facilitate a higher connection with you and with spirit for everybody to heal and to be guided from. So it's super exciting. I've got a lot of notes here that I've written over this month just on what we've talked about in the past couple of readings, bringing those things into full swing. And then also I break down all of the zodiac signs by their element and give you guys kind of a mini reading on how the moon is interacting with you per your sign. I'm also going to talk about the Venus retrograde that we are under right now. So that just started on the 6th of October and will be ending on November 16th. And if you hear any tones playing, I am playing some tones in the background. So if they're too loud for you, let me know now so that I can change it. But yeah, there are some tones playing in the background just to help facilitate more of the vibe. My name's Rissa Vibes and that's what I do. So I want to make sure I bring them all the time. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. It's 6 o'clock, so it's time to go. All right, so I want to get into this new moon. Now, the new moon is in Libra, which is great because we're finding balance with this new moon. We're able to find some observance of self, and we're able to really find kind of an airy spiritual element to our path in this sign. So that's really beautiful. Shout out to all the Libras. Happy birthday, Libras. My boyfriend's a Libra, so we celebrated his birthday recently as well. Great energy Libras have, so loving that. And I want to talk about what this new moon is bringing as far as balance. A lot of people have been experiencing a lot of emotional balance in this moon, so purging emotionally of things from the past or things that have happened presently that you feel a little more sensitive than usual to, feeling a little bit more emotionally vulnerable and energetically vulnerable as well. Remember, this is an air sign, which is usually dealing with a lot of spiritual energy also. So we're feeling energetically more vulnerable while we balance our spirit side with more of our human aspects. This can be intense, especially right now because we're in the Venus retrograde. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But really for the Libra new moon, we're in that balance of emotions and of energy. So we're finding a lot of our wisdom spiritually through our ability to balance our emotions, noticing when our emotions are running really high and learning how to balance them down and ground them down into something that we can actually navigate, observe, and learn from. Now, as far as emotions go with healing, we're also finding peace and reconciliation with our emotions. So we're learning how to deal with our emotions in ways that we haven't always been. We are learning how to accept them, we're learning how to love them, and we're learning how to use our emotions as a tool. So we're actually using our heightened awareness and our heightened intuition that we've had all of this year with this 2011 intuitive year, or 2018 11 intuitive year. The 11 is numerology, 2018 is 11. So it's an intuitive year. It's really heightened for spiritual energy. And so we're finding peace with our emotions with that wisdom and learning how to use our emotions to build our spiritual energy and amplify that spiritual vibration so that we can really join forces with our spirit completely and evolve ourselves into our purest potential. And that's what we're going through. Now, with that, there is a lot of excitement. We're able to become our truest selves. We're able to find our truest love of ourselves and love in others. We're able to find our purpose in life. We're able to find our intuition in our spirit and our union with our spirit. So all of these things are really exciting for the 2018 year. And with Libra balancing it, we're now learning not to fight our human side, but to work with our human side and the spirit and find the beautiful balance where they're both really in harmony. And that's what the Libra sign is bringing us for this new moon. And that's what the new beginning of this new moon is all about, is finding the balance between the human and the spirit and learning how to make them work together always, so that you're never feeling conflicted. So you're never feeling like your mind is battling your heart, because your heart is where the spirit is. Your mind is more of the human aspect, that overthinking, that overstressing, that need to control, need to strategize. That's where the human aspect is. The spirit's in the heart. The spirit just goes, the heart just goes with whatever feels right, whatever feels intuitive. So that's kind of what we're dealing with, balancing that as well. All right, so the voice of your spirit is calling through many synchronicities during this time. We're in October, so this is the thinnest part of the veil. We are in the thinnest season for the veil of spirit, between this physical world and spirit. That veil between there is really, really thin right now for Halloween and for October. That's where Halloween came from, is from the spirit world being more accessible to the human world. And that's really, everybody really felt that intuitively for eons of time. And that's actually where Halloween came from. It was an ancient Irish holiday from Ireland, ancient Ireland, and brought in from seeing the shadows in the forest in October and seeing more shadows than normal and seeing shadows move in the forest that were mysterious and mystical and ghoulish. And that's really where your intuition starts thinning out, because it enters the darker part of the season, the darker part of the year. And so with the darkness comes more awareness of spirit. With darkness comes more awareness of light. It's the same thing. So that's where we're at right now. And so leading into that, on an emotional perspective, we're feeling some of that darkness within our soul, and we're learning how to navigate through the darkness and find the lighter parts of ourselves, the more vibrant, the more spiritual, the more inspired parts of ourselves, and we're pulling that into the light, and we're letting go of any of the shadow with love and with acceptance of it, knowing that it brought us to the light, and we should be thankful for that, and we transform under that energy. So that's where we're at right now. A lot of the synchronicities, like I was saying, have to do with numbers, seeing the same numbers over and over. I'm sure a lot of you guys are feeling that. I've been seeing 1010 everywhere. I'm releasing a new music video on 1010 on Wednesday, so it's kind of funny, the synchronicity there. And I feel like the number 10 itself is really, really important. And I actually wrote down the numerology significance of it, the angel number, which is a step forward with confidence and with optimism. So we're in the 10th month, right? October. And so we're really feeling that 10 extra strong as well. And we're seeing it kind of repeat itself. We're also seeing a lot of 12s, which are very, very powerful numbers also, dealing with the Merkaba. I just had a lovely goddess message me about a meditation that she had. She was following my meditation, my Lionsgate meditation from a few months ago, and she had an activation of her Merkaba. The Merkaba is our spiritual chariot. It literally is an electromagnetic field in the spirit realm. It's here, physical with us. We just can't see it physically because we're in the physical realm. But in the spiritual realm, when we're meditating or when we're just walking around, our Merkaba is activated, and it's our chariot for our energy. And that chariot of our energy can actually travel not just in the physical realm here on Earth, but can also go to different planets, into the cosmos, into other astral realms, and travels with us wherever we go, in our dreams, in meditation, in our sleep, whatever we're doing throughout our day. So she had a Merkaba activation where she actually felt the energy of her chariot, of her energetic chariot, her Merkaba surrounding her. And she said it felt really intense, and she felt kind of out of body and out of this world. So shout out to Wanna Dance GT. I'm answering this question for you. That experience is that activation of the Merkaba, and what your spirit's doing during that time, and why this is so significant for me to talk about in this reading is because a lot of people are experiencing these heightened spiritual experiences that they haven't had before. And it kind of freaks you out when you feel out of body in a meditation, or you read all these articles about people talking about activating certain parts of their spirituality, connections with their spirit guides, and then you actually experience, and it's like super intense. You're not sure if it was real. You're not sure if that's what it was or that's what everybody was talking about. Well, I'm here to tell you that's exactly what it was. So look up activating your Merkaba if you've experienced that, and Wanna Dance, definitely check that out, because that's what you had. And when you activate your Merkaba, what your spirit's telling you there is that you are now in complete sync with that chariot of your energy, to the point where you're able to actually move in that Merkaba energy in your truest vibration almost all of the time, without much energetic force, without much trying or effort. You've reached the level of activating your Merkaba where you don't have to really purposefully do it. Now your Merkaba is just auto. It's on autopilot, and it's going to keep you protected in all of the energetic interactions that you have with others, spiritual interactions, and so forth. You can also astral travel more with that and gain a deeper relationship with that activation. So congratulations. Now, a lot of us are experiencing other activations in our dream realm. We're experiencing lucid dreaming, astral travel, meeting spirit guides. We're even having past life memories that we never even had the ability to see and now are perceiving really strongly. So if you're experiencing that during this time, the veil is really thin for you, and it's a great time to go get a reading, go get an energy balancing if you're feeling like you're on the precipice of really having one of those connections, but you're not quite there. It's a great time to push yourself into that spiritual activation so that you can really start working in those different areas and different realms of your spirit and of your spirit body. I'm an intuitive, so I give personal readings. I do general readings, mediumship, past life, all of that, and also energy balancing. So if you need something like that, please let me know. But you can also meditate deeper and ask for your guides to come through to you. You can do it too. That's what I love to teach, is that you're just as intuitive as I am. You can just practice it a little bit more and be able to access the same things. It just takes practice and time, patience, and believing in it. All right, so I'm done off the rant on that. I hope that answered your question, Wanna Dance, but let me go ahead and get into this Venus retrograde before I get into all of the zodiac signs, because we're gonna talk about that and break them down for how this new moon and Venus retrograde is treating them. But right now, let's get into the Venus retrograde. So we are in a Venus retrograde. We have been since October 6th. That was last week, end of last week. So what Venus retrograde is when Venus is actually starting to pull away and start to go away from the normal flow of the solar system. And so it's starting to actually pull us energetically as well, a little bit out of sync in its theme, in its thematic, energetic vibration, which for Venus is love. It's home and love and family. So for that retrograde and us pulling out of balance in that area of our life, we're going to be learning a lot of our lessons through love and family. And so it is important for us now to start observing our love life, observing our family life, and observing our home life, and letting ourselves see the areas where there might be some disturbances or disruptancies, where we're starting to feel friction and we're not sure where it's coming from. It's most likely in line with the stars and with this Venus retrograde. So the first thing to do is, if you're feeling some kind of disturbance between you and your romantic partner, or any relationships, family that you have, or any close relationships that you have close to the heart, it's important for you to recognize that and to start, first of all, don't take it too seriously, because a lot of times if we go too into these things or read too into some little argument that feels super intense and we don't know why it's so intense, it was over nothing, it's most likely because of this Venus retrograde. So you don't want to over exaggerate the issue. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if it's bringing up something that you know has been in your heart for a while, a doubt that you've had, an issue or a feeling that you've had that you haven't really expressed, something that you've already had under the surface that right now seems more intensely available to you and more intensely in your face, it is important to recognize that, observe it, and start to look at what is that telling you. If your spirit was to talk to you about why it was bringing this up to you right now in this moment so intensely, what do you think your spirit would be saying to you? That's literally all you have to ask yourself. When you ask yourself that, you're most likely going to get an answer. It might sound like you're giving yourself the answer, but if you listen really closely and meditate into your heart, you're most likely going to get more information than you could have fathomed a couple of minutes ago asking the question. So ask yourself and ask your spirit, why would this situation be bringing itself up so intensely for me right now? And what is it telling me about myself, how I'm reacting to this situation, how I'm reacting to myself in this situation, and how is it teaching me and what is it teaching me about my path in reference to this situation? So when you really sit down and meditate on that and observe instead of reacting right away, you usually find out that this disturbance or this issue is something that's intuitive, that is important for you to start evaluating. Otherwise, it just keeps coming up. It keeps showing itself. So you've got to kind of get to the bottom of it as soon as you can. Now, when you're getting to the bottom of something like this, it's important, because of Venus retrograde, to not go into it with a defense mechanism or a definite answer on what you want to do, or an absolute assumption or expectation on what this issue is or what this issue is going to bring you. It's important to go in there with an open heart, with a observant heart, and to really feel into every aspect of that situation without making a decision too drastic too soon. When we're in retrograde, any retrograde at that, we want to make sure that we're not jumping the gun, because a lot of retrogrades will deceive us a little bit. They'll over exaggerate or over amplify an energy to bring it to the surface so that we're seeing it. But it's not so much to tell us we have to act right away, or that we have to be caught up in our emotions and do something that we might regret later. So no signing any contracts, no getting into serious relationships and jumping into like a marriage super quick with somebody you just met in this time. No breaking up with a partner that you've had for a really long time because of something small during this time. It's really important to hold on, don't make any drastic decisions, and start self-observing and observing your relationship on why these things are being brought up. Why am I having challenges? Why is Venus retrograde showing me these parts of my relationship? That's what it's about. It's not, what does this mean? I have to break up with them, or I have to like leave them, or they're cheating on me, or this is that and that, and it's too much. You don't want to get too wrapped up in your emotions. You want to be very calm and meditative about it. All right. Another thing on Venus retrograde, really identifying what we want is a big part. Are we being honest with ourselves on what we want in our love and in our relationships? And are we being honest with ourselves and being satisfied with it? Are we really getting what we need? And if we are, and we're trying to pretend on the surface like we're not, why are we acting like we're not getting what we need? What is inside of us that's telling us that we don't deserve what we have, or that we're not, or that what we're getting is too good to be true? Why are we doubting that? That can be a big thing. Also, just being honest with ourselves on, is this really what I want? And am I really doing what I said I was going to do for myself? Am I being true to my own expectations and my own values? Super important. If you're not being true to yourself, then you're not going to be able to find something true for you. So you have to be true with yourself, honest with yourself. It's also important to make sure, am I playing a victim too much in something? Is there something that I'm doing that I'm not actually aware of that might be causing certain discrepancies or certain issues in my relationship? Am I being blind to certain areas of my responsibility in certain things? Because that's a super big important thing when we're talking about relationships and Venus retrograde as well. Because most of the time, Venus retrograde and any retrograde is teaching us about ourselves through our interactions with others or with other things. So it's not so much about the other person or the other people or the other circumstance. It's more about what are we being taught through these experiences. All right, let me see if I'm missing anything. No big decisions, like I said. Find what every disconnect is and why it's not flowing. Look within before blaming or shaming others. So I just talked about that. And that's going to be until November 16th, okay? So that's pretty much the precipice and the summary of Venus retrograde, and it's going to be pretty much the main focus for this new moon because it's so fresh, and new moon is all about new beginnings. So a lot of the influence of Venus retrograde is going to be sparking new beginning. Now, I will say, to top that off, is there are going to be a lot of people that are going to find out that right now they're being brought some wisdom about their current situation, and they're going to be motivated to move out of their current situation into their new beginning, a new beginning that they've been manifesting for a while. So those people, if you're one of them and if this feels resonant to you, then be very attentive to moving forward and making sure that if something's calling you and this certain situation you're in right now isn't feeling right, to move forward and trust that, because you're gaining momentum into a new beginning. And if you're getting that push in this Venus retrograde, make sure you honor that. Just don't make any decision until the 16th. Make sure you give yourself some time if you're not all the way sure. But if Venus retrograde hit and then you're like, oh, something that wasn't sure just became super sure for me, I have no doubt in my mind now, then let that ride. Make sure that stays like that for the next couple of weeks. And as soon as you know, like mid-November, nope, it's still solid, I know this, then move on and start kind of moving towards it now. You can start moving your energy and feeling what it feels like to move towards that. Just don't make any super sudden or drastic decisions before November 16th. All right, guys, one more thing before I get into the zodiacs. So the last thing I'll talk about is detoxing and letting go. That's a huge theme with this specific new moon. Every new moon is about a fresh start, a new beginning, but this new moon is specifically about detoxing, letting go of all of the stuff that we had to revisit from all of the eclipses over the summer, all of the stuff that we had to kind of feel into and really reconcile and revisit and restore, and kind of just reevaluate. We're moving into more of an energy of just starting new and detoxing out of that old energy and into a completely new fresh start. So we did all of that new energy, restore, kind of rekindling for a reason, so that we could get the wisdom we needed, we could really obtain all of the information we needed, see all of the lessons that we needed to learn from that, and finally let it go without any doubt, without any fear. Now is the time to let go. So detoxing the body of anything that you know you've been feeding your body that hasn't been doing well for you, that's causing you health problems, causing you energetic issues, causing you emotional purges and issues with your hormones. Let it go. Detox. Water is huge. Drink tons of water. Cleanse your body. We're right before the seasons of holidays and everything and all of that eating, so we want to really get rid of anything that feels like it's just not serving us, so that we can feel cleansed and ready for the new year. And then also maybe forgive ourselves a little bit when we dive into that food over the holidays, and feel like we can stay in balance and not overdo it. Also letting go of those old traumas, old relationships, letting go of even past loss that has caused us to not grow or has kind of held us back. Anything that's held us back energetically, we have to let go of so that we can propel into the new year. Right now in this new moon, according to the star alignment, we're almost exactly where we were at in January as far as the stars go. So right now the universe is really asking us, look at where we were when we started this year. What were the things you wanted to manifest? What were the things that you wanted to make sure you did? What were your New Year's resolutions of this year? Have you come close? Have you put the energy and effort into meeting them? Or have you not started any of those yet? Well, you still have a couple of months to put that stuff into motion. So it's important to let yourself really redefine yourself and make sure you're in alignment with the intentions that you set for the new year this in January, so that we can really complete what you had for goals and your intentions and move into a whole new set of goals. So let go of anything that's holding you back. I'm doing a letting go workshop for all of this on November 2nd is the day it starts. It's going to be a 3-day crash course in letting go of energetic and emotional traumas, letting go of energetic cords that don't serve, letting go of toxins in the body, letting go of trapped emotions in the body, letting go of feelings and fears of unknown, letting go of parts of ourself, shadow parts of ourself that we know have been limiting us, letting go of all of that, even letting go of pain and grief from past loved ones that have been keeping us from moving on. Things like that are so important, because if we're limiting ourselves in any way and we're holding on to the past, we're not focused on the future and we can't move towards it as easily. So if you're interested in that letting go workshop, it's going to be amazing. Tons of live video chats, guided meditations by me, practice posts for your journal to really integrate what we're learning, guest speakers, all of that. Message me. It's super affordable. Pre-sale tickets are on sale right now as well for only $133, so super affordable for the 3-day crash course, and it's all virtual. It's all here on Instagram, so that's going to be really cool. And if you're watching from YouTube, you can go follow me on Instagram at Readings by Rissa and get all the information and go and join the workshop as well. So it's all going to be here on Instagram, private workshop for 3 days. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into these zodiac signs. I'm so excited to break down what this new moon energy and Venus retrograde is going to mean for you personally, according to your signs. So let's get into it. All right, so the fire signs, my Aries, my Sagittarius, and my Leos. Okay, so right now you've got some emotional irritability going on. There's some increase in sensitivity emotionally with this. Because you're very empathic and because you're fiery, you tend to take your empathic energy with a little bit more grit than most, a little bit more friction. And so sometimes when you're not able to translate the empathic energy that you're receiving from others or from other situations, or just from the mass consciousness of energy, you get a little frustrated, you get a little irritable, you feel a little bit confused and angry and misunderstood, and you're not really sure what to do with that information. So it's important for you to take a step back, all my fire signs, and when you're feeling that emotional irritability or that extra sensitivity, notice if it's that you're picking up on somebody else's energy around you, or if you're picking up on other people's circumstances, or if you're letting the energy of a circumstance dictate your personal energy. Because when you do that in any situation, you're giving that external energy power over you and your aura. And so you want to allow yourself to find an inner peace by stating simply to yourself and to your spirit that your energy is your own. So my energy is my own. My energy is my own. And by saying that mantra to yourself, and you can also add, even if you're feeling extra energy intensely, I release any energy that is not my own. My energy is my own. And when you say that to yourself, my fire signs, and anybody who might be feeling this as well, you let go of any of the empathic energy that you've been picking up that isn't yours, so that you don't feel so irritable and trying to translate it and trying to do something with it. Because that's often what you guys feel, especially right now, is that that veil is thin and you're feeling your empathic energy more, and you're not really sure how to translate it and what to do with it. And so it's kind of making you feel responsible in a way that you're not really wanting to be responsible for. So you can just let that go. You don't have to take that responsibility in trying to translate or transmute other people's energy. You can just let it go and ask your guides to do it for you. Balancing right now is a big thing for everybody. So for my fire signs, you're also balancing your emotions. So that's a lot of where that sensitivity comes from too. You might be experiencing a lot of emotional highs and then a lot of emotional lows. You might be feeling really great one day and then boom, you hit like you hit the ground the next day, or even by the hour. So know that right now we're all balancing. And my fire signs, if you're balancing emotionally and energetically and you're feeling these highs and lows, don't get too frustrated or too irritated by those shifts and by those changes. Just know that your body and your spirit is finding a homeostasis and you're getting there slowly. Meditate, relax, breathe deeply, find inner peace, surround yourself with things that will distract you into a better energy so you don't focus on that weird back and forth, and surround yourself with other signs that you know and other people that you know that give you that positive, stable energy so you don't feel so in flux and irritable. But know that it is not going to be, you know, the end of the world. Everything's going to be fine, my fire sign, so don't you fret. Balance with meditation and cooling the emotional body. I got that specifically from my guides, is if you guys meditate on cooling your energy, because you're fire signs, you can imagine kind of a blue water energy flowing over you that's really cool and refreshing, or a beautiful soothing mist, cool mist when you're meditating, and that will actually calm your energy down and balance it like it needs to. So that's for my fire signs. All right, air signs, my Libras, my Geminis, and my Aquariuses. I'm a Gemini, my boyfriend's a Libra, so shout out to all you air signs. We are powerful and strong in this specific reading, so I want to talk about that. Now, for my air signs, we are in our element because we are being governed by an air sign in Libra, and if you are a Libra, you're even more in your element right now. You feel balanced, you feel in control, you feel in your swag, in your vibe, and you're really helping others find that within themselves everywhere you go. You're kind of transmuting other people's energies that feel really out of sync, and you're like, why are you freaking out? Why are you feeling that way? And they're like, I feel like I'm going crazy. And you're just like the calm, cool, and collected one, chilling, watching it all go down. So if you're an air sign, make sure you just allow yourself to be that for other people. If you see them in need and you're feeling good that day, just allow yourself to hold space without holding responsibility for their energy, because you don't want to hold responsibility for their energy. Once you start holding responsibility for their energy, then you take it on and it's not really your responsibility, it's theirs. But what you can do is hold space, hold your energy in front of them, stay in your true vibration in front of them, and set the example for them on how to get there. That's what holding space really means. So allow yourself to do that for your friends if you're an air sign. Now, I will say if you're a Gemini, I'm a Gemini, and this may also go for my Aquariuses as well. We're feeling kind of a little bit of those dualistic aspects of ourselves starting to come into play as well. So sometimes we are feeling really in our element, and then other times we're feeling a little bit less than that. So if you're feeling a little bit low or you get a little confused, make sure you just let yourself meditate, stick to your mindfulness practice, connect to your spiritual side through breath. Breath work with air signs works so amazing, and it makes sense, right? Air, breath. So if you really breathe deeply in those moments of confusion or emotional torment or issues of insecurity or anything you might be feeling, you breathe really deeply up and down the spine, you can find your inner peace a lot easier and get back into that vibe. You're also going to have a lot of inspiration, and new beginnings are going to be abundant for you. You're going to see a lot of different areas where new beginnings are going to be jumping off for you, air signs. So be very observant of things that feel interesting and resonant with you, that are new and exciting and could represent a new change and a new beginning, because you're going to get a lot of abundance there. You also want to use your emotions as a tool, like I talked about in the new moon aspect in the beginning. But with the air signs, your emotions are a really strong tool, and they're actually allowing you to discover more of your truth by accessing more of your closeness with spirit and allowing yourself to find your truth through your spiritual experiences. So tapping into your intuition right now through meditation, yoga, pulling cards for yourself, being in meditative retreats or getting energetic readings or intuitive readings from people is really important right now, because it'll help you activate that within yourself, because you're really, really potent for that right now. You have a lot of energy that is waiting to be activated, air signs. So it's important for you to activate that spiritual energy, especially before the year ends, because we are going into even more of that heightened spirituality. And right now in October, with the veil being thin and being a 2018, which is an 11-year numerology wise, is a great time to activate your spiritual side and really take it seriously, because it is the time to feel what it feels like to live in the spirit world whenever you want. It feels great. So I really encourage my air signs to do that as well and start using that to your advantage and using your emotions as tools to tell you when you're in line with your spirit and when you're not. If you're feeling bad about yourself or bad about a situation, your gut is kind of cringing at the thought of something, or your heart feels like it's constricting when you say something mean about yourself to yourself, that's your spirit telling you, I don't agree with this. I don't think this is right. My heart is clenching up and my stomach is clenching up because what you're saying to yourself and what you're saying to me as your spirit is not true. So make sure you're using your emotions as that tool to let you know, okay, I actually feel really good right now when I just thought about letting go of this thing. Man, that means my spirit is down for that. My spirit is telling me, by making me feel good when I think about that yeah, I should let that go. It's time to let that go. It feels good to let that go. And then you move on. So use that as a tool. All right. And be honest with yourself about all the things in your life that do need to be let go, air signs, because we have a tendency to want to hold on to certain things that feel good, and we want to hold on to the positivity of things without sometimes being very realistic about the detrimental side of holding on to those things. So if you're feeling like that's resonating and you know something's coming to your head right now of like, oh, I should probably let this go, that's probably what she's talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's time to let it go. Join my letting go workshop. We'll take care of it. We're going to cut some cords together and we'll do it together in support of each other. But yeah, so it's important to do that. All right, my water signs, Cancers, Pisces, and Scorpio. Okay, my first message is for my Scorpios. I wrote it down because it's really important. All right, Scorpios are learning love lessons heavy through romance and intimate interactions. This is nothing new for Scorpios. You guys always kind of learn your lessons this way, but it's in particularly strong right now during this time. So what I mean by that is your water sign siblings are also like this, but this can cause for deep emotions and intense energy between romantic relationships. So if you just met somebody and you're like falling super fast, and you're a Scorpio, make sure you're being observant of how the Venus retrograde might be interacting with you on that. It might actually be telling you, hey, it's finally time to move into something more romantic with someone, but it might not be this particular person. This person might just be a representation of everything that you've been manifesting, but isn't quite there yet. So don't jump the gun all the way yet. Just be observant of what opportunities Spirit is bringing you in response to love and intimacy that could be exactly what you've been manifesting. And be really observant and really kind of picky about what path your spirit is really trying to lead you on, and just don't jump the gun too quick, especially Scorpios, okay? Let's see. Deep emotions and intense energy with the Venus retrograde. Be mindful of getting too close too fast until mid-November, like I said. So if you hit mid-November and you're still with this person that you just met and everything feels great, know that, okay, this feels good. Like, actually, this is solid. November 16th, actually November 20th maybe comes around. You wait a couple days after the Venus retrograde lifts and you still feel really sure of it. You still feel like it's feeling good. Then it's time for you to really trust it and maybe move deeper into it a little bit more intensely. But it's always good to make sure yourself is self-evaluating it and observing it as well, just to be sure. Be mindful of what your intuitions are telling you on certain things as well, because all of my water signs are feeling into your spiritual side as well through your interactions in romance. So your spirit is kind of testing you in certain ways intuitively on, is this person really feeling right to you, or is this your mind just strategizing what you think you want and making you go for that and not really letting yourself feel into your heart. So be sure on any tests or intuitive kind of games that your spirit might be giving you on choosing partners as well. Also, be mindful of what these intimate relationships that you're finding yourselves in are telling yourself and about your path. How are you choosing people? Where are you meeting people? Are you surrounding yourself with people that you would actually want to be with if you're looking for love? Or are you surrounding yourself with a bunch of people that you wouldn't ever want to date, or you couldn't ever imagine dating people like the people you hang out with, but you're hanging out with them and expecting to date somebody completely different? So it's really important for you to evaluate how you are walking your path and what you're wanting from your path, and make sure that they're staying in alignment right now with romance, because that's going to be a big lesson for you guys on how you're receiving lessons and information about your path and which way to go from spirit. All right, so moving on, last sign, the earth signs, and I have a couple of extras after this, so stay tuned for more after this part. But we've got the Virgos, the Capricorns, and the Taurus for my earth signs. So for you guys, balance of emotion is coming with a punch, as you are forced to feel some things that you thought you let go of last time, but you haven't. So right now, there's going to be some things for you earth signs where you're being reminded of aspects of yourself that you haven't let go of that you thought you did, or aspects of your past that you haven't let go of and you thought you did. Things that you thought you were over or that didn't really get to you that much actually did have a major impact on you, and you're starting to realize it. You're starting to realize the parts of your path that you didn't see as significant back then and how they actually are. And in response to that, that can be tricky. It can bring you into a heightened level of awareness and inspiration on what to do to follow up with that. Or it could be something where you're feeling a little bit shameful and blaming yourself for not letting go of it or being reminiscent of something. So allow yourself some time to meditate on this and to just find your center in what it is you really want. If you're finding things come up from your past that you really miss and want to kind of reinstill in your life somehow, you still have the opportunity to do that. If you feel like you've cut cords too fast or you've done things like that, you can absolutely mend those bridges. But it's also important for you to notice why those cords were cut and what they taught you about yourself, and if it was something that you need to remedy or if it's something that you can simply learn for the next go around. It's also important to surround yourself with positive energy people that are going to be really introspective for you and help you sort out some of the confusion if you have any there. So for my earth signs, know that a lot of times you're the structure, you're the support, you're the people that everybody relies on. But sometimes it's important to rely on the other signs too and allow them to teach you something and to give you some wisdom and understanding on your path. So don't be afraid to reach out to them and ask for help and ask for advice, and know that your emotions are balancing too. So no matter what it is that you might have realized you haven't let go of and need to, or you realize you let go of too soon and might need to rekindle, whatever it is, allow yourself to find balance in your emotions on it, and don't act too quick. Same with the Venus retrograde. Just wait and let yourself observe it, see all the parts of it from the big picture, and then go forth with action and give yourself some time to heal from anything that you haven't healed from in the past. Let's see if I missed anything there. Once you accept your emotions, all my earth signs, once you accept those emotions and choose to love them, they will release, and so will the cords tied to them. So once you really face the emotions that you tried to ignore before, or anything that you've suppressed in the past, once you face it, they will release when you ask it. But you have to face it. You can't just keep running from things. You can't suppress emotions. So right now the veil is thin, and so your spirit is really encouraging you to face things that you haven't faced before, and don't be afraid to do it, and don't be afraid of what's on the other side. The unknown is not always scary, and usually isn't scary. The unknown appears to you because for the sake of moving into it, because your spirit is bringing you something unknown because it already sees what's going to happen when you move into that unknown, and it already knows that no matter what it is, it's going to be in your best interest. So trust your spirit on that, and don't be fearful of feeling your emotions or having confrontations with people or situations, or being honest with yourself about something about yourself. Just be real with yourself. use your time to quiet your mind, and it will show you what your spirit really wants. Don't get too distracted with material things either for my earth signs, because we're moving into a full moon in Taurus later this month, and so you're going to have a lot of distracting materialistic things kind of luring you into more of those abundance traps in a way. So be mindful of that. All right, so that's for all the zodiac signs. I'm going to go over a couple of extras, and I'm going to pull some cards as well. So extras, I want to talk about two stones that are really important that I've been using for this new moon and for just this Venus retrograde that are about the heart chakra, okay? So for Venus retrograde, we've got the rose quartz. This is, you can't really tell, but it's kind of a pinkish color, and it's quartz, so it's kind of a white clear, but it's also pink. It's really pretty, and I hit the light like that. So rose quartz is for the heart. It's to open the heart chakra. It's that beautiful pink color of compassion, of love, of intimacy, and of peace in the love department and in the heart. So you can meditate with your rose quartz. You can rub it between your hands. I love rubbing stones in my hands because it activates the hand chakras, which allows us to transmit that energy to others. So when we give people handshakes or we give people hugs, we can give them that loving rose quartz energy as well. And it just allows us to keep our hands pure and clean and in love. So rose quartz is great to hold in your pocket or to meditate with during this Venus retrograde and during this new moon, because it's opening your heart and it's allowing your heart to tell you what it feels and what it's saying. So it allows you to come into unity with your heart and to listen and hear it fully so that you can move with it and stay with it, because that's kind of where we're at. We want to move with our heart. And that's what Venus retrograde is all about. It's showing us the parts of ourself and the parts of our heart that we've been ignoring. And it's asking us to become more in union with those parts of our heart so that we can heal all the way, and we can love ourselves all the way, and we can love others all the way. So rose quartz. All right, next one is green opal. I just picked this one up, and it was really cool because I didn't even notice it until after, but it's actually the shape. Oh, you can't really tell. It's actually the shape of a heart. You can't really tell, but it is, trust me. So it is green opal, and it's really, really pretty. It's got like these little rivets in it, little lines. There it is in the light. And green opal is opening the heart chakra. Green is for the heart chakra as well. It's opening for the heart chakra, but it also keeps the heart chakra protected against any negative energy attacks and against anything that could be plaguing our heart. So it actually kind of acts as a bodyguard, I guess, because it allows us to be open. It allows our heart to be activated and do what it's supposed to do, but it doesn't let it be vulnerable. It doesn't let anything mess with it or get too close that could hurt it. And it allows us to feel safe in opening our heart, which a lot of us don't feel safe in opening our heart still. So make sure you give yourself some time to open your heart. Feel into your heart space. Let's do it together for a second. Let's breathe deeply into the heart chakra, into the heart space, expanding our chest fully. And big exhale to relax. Let's do one more. Big inhale, moving our consciousness into our heart, filling our chest with air, expanding our heart chakra to the biggest potential. And big exhale to relax. And so when we do that, we allow ourselves to feel our heart space. How many times do you do that a day or a week even? We have a heart. We should feel what it feels like to move our consciousness and our energy into that. And then when we do, we can push that energy out and give it to the world, or pull that energy in and keep it for ourselves so that we can heal whatever we need to and love ourselves more. So rose quartz, green opal. Rose quartz, green opal. All right? Great for Venus retrograde and the new moon. All right, I'm gonna pull cards real quick. While I'm pulling cards, like I said, a couple of my announcements. And with these card pullings, I'm just gonna ask, the first one, what do we need to know to summarize us, this reading for the Venus retrograde? And then I'm gonna also ask, what do we need to know to summarize us for the new moon in Libra? And then as a final card, I'm gonna ask, what is it that we need for guidance overall until the next reading? All right, so as I pull this last card, like I said, the letting go workshop, if you feel like you need to let go of something and something just doesn't feel like you have let go of it all the way, or you just feel like there's still some cords to be cut with a certain person or a certain energy or a certain circumstance in their life or a past trauma, then it's important to message me and let me know, because I really got inspired by Spirit to do this letting go workshop for that reason. My guides just told me, like in meditation one day, and just sprung me up and made me draft up this whole workshop for the sake of allowing people to learn how to cut the cords of their energies that don't serve them themselves for future reference. So once you go through this workshop, you shouldn't really have to go through it again. You learn all the things you need to learn to cut cords in the future. And if you have to go through it again, it's just for refresh or something, or for fun. But yeah, so it's about letting go of trauma, of relationships, of parts of yourself you don't want. And this is the time. It's the perfect time to do it. It's right before the new year. Let go of the stuff that you don't need so that you can move into this new year with all of the things you do need and that are serving you, so you can take off in the new year with nothing holding you back. Also, my aura music video, if you guys haven't, if you haven't met me before and this is your first time seeing one of my readings on Indigo Goddess, I'm also a musician. I do solo music, all conscious music, all high vibe, really spiritual kind of content and deep lyrics. My next music video is releasing on the 10th. That's Wednesday, so 10/10/18. It's called Aura, and it's going to be amazing. So if you see it on my page, go to my page at Readings by Rissa and go to my YouTube. The link is in my bio there, and you can subscribe and tap the bell for notifications, and then you'll see all my music videos when I post them on my YouTube. Segue into that, I also do YouTube videos to teach meditation, to teach journaling, to teach about how to navigate anxiety through intuition, to teach about the new moons and the portals that we enter. So make sure that you go to my YouTube channel. I have my own private link for YouTube now, so it's YouTube/C/Rissa Vibes. Or you should just be able to search in YouTube Rissa, R-I-S-S-A, Vibes, V-I-B-E-S, on YouTube and find my page. I've got a ton of videos up there and more music videos coming. I just posted a meditation video just a couple weeks ago, all about meditation. I give you in-depth practices on how to deepen your meditative practice, how to stay consistent with your meditative practice, why your meditative practice is so important, and I give you step-by-steps on how to meditate for all of those people who haven't been able to meditate or get really deep with their meditation. So go check that out as well. But yeah, that's kind of all I have. Let me go ahead and give you... Yes, that's all I have. I just had to make sure. Let me give you the cards for this reading before I let you guys go. All right, so, oh, this is a good card. Okay, the first card is Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is all about protection. He is about allowing you to feel completely protected in your aura, in your heart. And it's really cool that Archangel Michael showed up for this card, because we asked, what do we need to know for this Venus retrograde? And the Venus retrograde is about opening the heart and allowing yourself to see what the heart has to say and to learn lessons from the heart. So Archangel Michael is here to tell you that it is safe. He's protecting you from anything that feels like it might attack your heart, or anything that feels scary to address within the heart. Just know that you are protected, know that you are safe, and know that he is comforting you with his energy and really helping you tame any demons within the heart or any kind of negative energy that's been plaguing your heart from old traumas or negative belief systems or past loved ones that have made you feel like crap about yourself. Whatever it is, we're letting go of those victim energies and we're moving into an energy of triumphant, overcome, and triumphant success and victory with Archangel Michael on our side. So you are safe in this Venus retrograde. You are safe to open up and to learn through your heart space. All right, next one is soulmate. So it's asking, what do we need to know about this new moon? And so the soulmate card is coming up. Now this is important because it's telling us that there are a lot of people that are our soulmates. It's not always an intimate or romantic partner that is our soulmate. We have soulmates in our soul family and the people that we hold near to us energetically who have taught us what we are and who we are in this life and keep us in alignment with our spirit, those friends and family members and loved ones that do that for us. And we're also going into this new moon with a soulmate energy momentum, knowing that when we use Archangel Michael to keep us protected in this Venus retrograde, and we use it to clear away any of the old lessons or any energy that isn't serving us, we move closer into our soulmate energy, what our truest romantic relationship has to offer, and what our truest soul relationship has to offer, by coming completely in sync and in alignment with our heart space after we have let go of any of those things that that doesn't serve us. So be fearless, know that we are moving closer into our soulmate expression and moving closer with our soulmate despite this Venus retrograde. Because even if we have relationship problems in our relationship right now, we might be dealing with that stuff to realize, oh, this person actually is my soulmate. They actually don't judge me when I tell them what's real, when I tell them what I'm really feeling, when I tell them what I'm really doubting or fearing in this relationship. They love me unconditionally. Wow, I thought that they might not be the one, but maybe they are. Or just by dealing with whatever you're dealing with romantically in the heart space and letting yourself learn those lessons, you now open yourself up to your soulmate coming along your path very, very soon. So either way, these go hand in hand and are great for the new moon and Venus retrograde. All right, last one. Overall, what do we need for moving on into the next moon reading? And this is dreams. We are moving into more of an astral connection with our dreams and a spiritual connection with our dreams. This also has to do with that thinning of the veil with October, reminding us that a lot of us, if we're not feeling intuitive experiences in our conscious waking state, we're most likely feeling them and experiencing our intuitive abilities in our dream state through our dreams. So if you're having significant dreams right now that you haven't had before, or you're feeling symbolic with your dreams, start a dream journal, start getting in tune with what your dreams are telling you, and start trying to observe what that might be revealing to you as far as intuitive abilities as well. And allow yourself to feel the connection with spirit and the spirit world through your dreams in that way. If you guys want to increase your dream energy and kind of help yourself with that, you can get some mugwort. It is great. You can get like a mugwort sage stick, and you can use it just like a smudge. You can burn it at the end before you go to sleep and wave it over your bed or wave it over your head before you go to sleep. You can also drink mugwort tea, or there's some essential oils with mugwort in it for aromatherapy, and you can incorporate mugwort into your nighttime practice, meditate with it, or just go to sleep with the smell in the air, and that will help activate your dreams as well. All right, guys, that is everything I have. I am so happy to have connected with you today. I hope that helped you on your navigating energy during this time. Make sure to go check out my YouTube channel. I will be posting this reading on my YouTube channel as well, so that you can go rewatch it if you need to, or if you forgot anything. So I'll go post that as soon as I'm done here on my YouTube. The link is in my bio at Readings by Rissa. I believe the link that I have up right now is for my recent video, Spare Me, my recent music video. But if you click on that link, you can watch my music video if you want, or you can just click subscribe and go to my channel. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. I had such a great time connecting with you. Next moon reading, I'm going to do the full moon reading in Taurus, October 24th, on my page at Readings by Rissa. So I'm going to do live new moon readings on Indigo Goddess and live full moon readings on Readings by Rissa. I'm going to try to see if we can keep a good organization with that here, but it is all a experiment, but eventually we'll find a good balance, right? Because we're in Libra, haha, and we'll get it all worked out. But for right now, next reading will be on my page at Readings by Rissa, and I do daily IGTV videos to help you stay inspired and motivated on your path, so make sure to tune into that. And message me about that letting go workshop if that sounds good to you. I also do personal readings and energy work. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Have a great day and a beautiful new moon. Light a candle, write down your intentions, let go of stuff that's been holding you back, and I will see you next moon. Bliss.